Hello all. So we are bringing you our second video today. Hope you liked our first video on India, and if you have not seen it yet, you can go and see it on our YouTube channel and come back and share your thoughts with us on India. Now, moving on to the second team that we would like to talk about today, which is Pakistan. Don't forget, Pakistan won the second T20 World Cup, which was held in 2009 in England, and they did well in the last year's tournament as well in 2021. So again, they'll be a strong challenger this time around in 2022 as well. So what Sumit and I will do, like last time, is we'll review the squad as to how competent it will be in Australian conditions, and then we'll think what will be their ideal playing 11 for the conditions, and then we can discuss on other insights relating to Pakistan as well. So let me bring up the squad on screen.
So yeah, as Sujay brings up the squad for Pakistan. So Pakistan again, a mercurial side. We know they have their days, and again, this side has some match winners. It has been performing well, and the notable performance being in Asia Cup where they beat India in the second game. But then they lost to Sri Lanka, which wasn't expected. So they have their ups and downs as usual, right? So coming to the squad, coming to the batsmen to start with. So Babar Azam being the captain, the opener, and Mohammad Rizwan being the wicket keeper, who was supposed to be a stand-in opener, but now since the last 2 years has been the permanent opener. So these two are on the ICC rankings also. I think 1 and 3. Surya has broken them by coming second now as of today. So these two will start the proceedings, and after that we have an interesting inclusion in Chan Masood, who made a comeback after like a number of years, and
And
out of
this
the
came
blue.
out of the blue, right? Out of nowhere.
Yeah, nobody expected him, and yeah, he was playing in the 100, I think, at number 4 to get ready for this role, and they just got him for the England series, and then he just started playing, and it helped in a way that Fakhar Zaman got injured. So then there was an opening at the number 3 slot where they
Right,
wanted a left-hander, right? But
right.
he is ideally an opener who's being converted into a middle order batter. So I don't know if he'll be playing, but seeing the indicators, I think he should be starting. Fakhar Zaman is a very important player for them who knocked us out in the Champions Trophy with his batting. So he's a very dangerous player. Ideally an opener, but again, this guy was also shunted down, and now he's batting in 3. So the top 4 should include these 4 or 3 out of these 4, which should obviously be between Shan and Fakar. Then comes the middle order, which is kind of soft, where all the criticism has been there of Pakistan cricket, which we'll discuss further, which might not be true actually as per us. There's an insight there, so we'll come to that later. So Iftikhar Ahmed, a decent utility cricketer, has started bowling a bit of off spin, and he can hit the ball long. So in Australia, where the grounds are so big, it's definitely going to be he's going to be one of the main players for them with his hitting abilities, as will Heather Ali, again a young talent and a good hitter of the ball. We have Asif Ali and Khusdal Shah. So Asif Ali again is apparently a six hitter, and that's all what the media reports in Pakistan say, that this guy hits 156ers in all his practice games. Like
Not sure how small or big the ground is though, where he hits
yeah, or
156s. Yeah.
if it is a ground or not, is it somebody's terrace where he keeps hitting the sixes and he just counts them as 156s? So I haven't seen it honestly. I think he against Afghanistan, he hit one guy for the number of sixes and won them a game. And since then, he's got this hype. But he honestly is very lost if he gets a lot of overs to bat. If you give him 3-4 balls, he's very good. But playing a player for only 3-4 balls again is something I don't get, because he's not a like a dynamic fielder, nor he's like bowling. So he's a specialist number 7 for 4 balls who hits 4 sixes. So it's a very specialist role, much more specialized than DK also. So he will start. Let's see how it goes about. I have my doubts on him. And Khusdal Shah was there in Asia Cup, but lately he has not been played by the management in any matches. So let's see if he's you know put in the 11, as he's also a left-hander. And coming to the all-rounders, that's I think one of the strengths Pakistan has, that they have two spinners who both are all-rounders, and they can be brought up the order to tonk the bowling and bring up the run rate when required. So Shadab is the right-handed all-rounder and Nawaz is the left-handed. And if you remember, Nawaz totally destroyed India's bowling in the second match in the Asia Cup by coming up the order. We
Right.
ran away with the game after that. So these two are very good bowlers and as well as good batsmen up front. So they provide the depth in batting to Pakistan. So those are all runners. Now Yeah, Sujay, your opinion on the steamers?
Yeah, the seamers obviously are going to be Pakistan's strength, right? There's no denying that. For India, like how the batsmen can totally change the game, for Pakistan, it's going to be the bowlers, and
Hmm.
their victory will largely depend on their bowlers. And again,
Yeah.
it's a very well rounded attack if you see it, right? Shaheen Afridi, left arm. At pace, brings the ball in into the right handers. We have seen what he did to India last time. So he
Hmm.
and him coming back from injury and doing pretty decently in the warm up games. So he'll be a big threat for sure. Harris Roth. Also, don't forget, the people who are listening to this podcast has a lot of experience in Australia. He
Hmm.
plays the BBL, so that
BBL.
way he has a lot of experience playing in the MCG, especially in Melbourne. So he knows the bounce of the pitch. He knows the true character of the pitch. So don't be surprised if he does well in this tournament. In fact, I think he'll be one of the most dangerous bowlers going around in the tournament.
Yes,
And
he
Naseem,
can crank it up to 150 also. Just to
yeah,
add, he has that pace. 155 he reached in one of the warm-up matches, I think, or when England came to Pakistan. Even there he
right.
ranked 155. So he can bowl at pace as well, along with that uncanny ability to bowl slow balls. So yeah.
Right. And Sumit, also a very important thing, like let's say Shoaib Akhtar used to also bowl at 150, 155,
Hmm.
but it
Hmm.
used to look like he used to put so much pressure and exertion on his
Yes.
body, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Harris Roth just ambles to the crease and just delivers it in a very
He's very
subtle way,
effortless.
right?
Yes.
So that way,
Yes.
I think Harris Roth has a lot going for him. I think he will do really well. Naseem Shah impressed everyone in the Asia Cup, right?
Yes.
Youngster, I think he's 1920, but the
Hmm.
way he was cranking the speeds up and his courage, right? Even though we saw him cramping in those desert
Yep.
conditions in UAE, he was going the extra mile for his nation and trying to do his best. So
Hmm. Hmm.
Shaheen Afridi, Haris Rauf, Nasim Shah, they are
Rip
going
up
to
screen.
lead this bowling attack. And Mohammad Wasim and Mohammad Hasnain are upcoming bowlers. I've
Young
seen a
bowlers.
little of them, and even they seem impressive, right? In Pakistan,
Yes.
fast bowling,
It's
it's
like
like nobody bowls at 130 there. It's 140, 145, 150. So that
yeah.
is something common, and I think the success of the seamers will go a large way in deciding where Pakistan will end up in this tournament.
Yes, definitely. They find fast bowlers like India finds batters, I think.
Yeah, in every
Too
nook
many.
and corner. Yeah.
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 That's
So
one of the benefits
let's
they
go
have.
ahead with the playing 11 then.
Yeah. So
All
playing
right.
11, pretty sorted because this has been the playing 11 that has been used for the England series recently concluded in Pakistan. So this was pretty much it, where they rested a few players and Fakar wasn't there, so Shan was playing at three. So Babar is one to open, and I don't think Fakar and Shan both can play because then that will be two more like left-handers at three and four, and then the hitters will come very late in the order because Babar and Rizwan play a sizable amount of balls when they are playing opening and chasing whenever. So we need to get the hitters in early, and then they have been using Shadab or Nawaz at four. So you need to keep that bandwidth also, right? That you cannot have your four batsmen and then send in Nawaz, and then you send in your hitters. So everything will get very delayed then. So batting is pretty sorted, and yeah, so Jay, you can go ahead with the bowlers.
Yeah, one quick point, Sumit, before we go into the bowlers. Now,
Hmm.
if Fakar is first of all done with his injury issues, if he's done with that, I see him slotting right away at three, right?
Yes.
Because again, what we saw in the recent New Zealand Tri Series as well, right, which
Mm-hmm.
Pakistan featured with New Zealand and Bangladesh,
Mm-hmm.
you saw in the in the first 10 overs, Pakistan, especially Babar and Rizwan, were scoring only 70-75 runs. Right,
Yes.
and then there was a lot of pressure on the middle order to suddenly come in and start hitting from ball one. Right,
Agreed.
so Fakar will need to be that differentiator for Pakistan if they have to make an impact at the top.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I see them, really struggling, especially with Asif Ali being out of form. Right,
Yes.
last time in the Asia Cup, if you remember, he came in and started hitting the ball from ball one and was
Mm-hmm.
able to make that difference of 20-25 runs. But so two critical people I see here are Fakar Zaman and Asif Ali. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
Babar and Rizwan are class. There is no doubting that. We saw that
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the last T20 World Cup against India, where they, without
Chase down
any,
the target.
yeah,
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
wickets victory, right? So
Mm-hmm.
their rate of batting, though, that will be a critical factor. Yeah.
Yes. That's That's the point, yeah. That's the insight we also had, that the middle order is the one that's criticized, but people don't see that how much balls is being consumed by the openers, and they are always leaving them with a required run rate of above 10. So it's not that easy to just start coming in and start hitting out, right? So they need to keep that in mind, that they have building a platform is good, but you need to build it at a good rate. So I think Pakistan's major advantage in this cup is going to be if they're chasing, because when they bat
Right.
first, they will be a bit lost, because both the openers take their time, they want to build the innings, and then they don't know how much to make. So their strategy is, I think, going to be very simple: bowl first, get your bowlers, because that's your strength anyways, and try to get the batsman out for as less as possible, and then Babar is one will time the chase. That is going to be their template, and hopefully it works for them. That's what they'll be hoping for. But yeah,
Yeah.
let's see.
From the opposition point of view, if I look at that Pakistan bowling lineup,
Hmm.
one bowler who I would definitely go after is Mohammad Nawaz, right? Because
Yes.
Rauf, Shah, Afridi, and Shadab will bowl those wicket taking deliveries.
Hmm.
Nawaz is a
Hmm.
decent bowler. I'm not,
Yes. Yes.
pitting anything against him. But if you have to go after one bowler, I think it will probably be Nawaz, where you
Hmm.
have to at least target 40 in his 4 overs for sure. That is, I think, one area they'll have to look at.
Definitely. He's not a big turner, and with the bounce being true and the ball won't be stopping in Australia, like we know, he should be the one targeted, because the paces will be difficult to handle. And one important factor will be Shaheen Afridi. He is back from injury. He bowled well in the warm-ups, but I don't know about the longevity of it. That how long will he be fit, and if he can bowl at that level. They will need to monitor that. Maybe he does not play all the games. I'm sure he's going to play on Sunday, because that is the be all and end all game for them. But after that, they need to nurse him and ensure that if they make it to the top four, they are in a position to play him in both the knockout matches. So yeah, that is pretty much the analysis I have on this playing 11.
Right. And Sumit, maybe a couple of stumbling blocks and that we could discuss before we come to the end of the video. I think
Hmm.
the biggest one, I think, as we discussed, the batting will really have to come to the fore, right? For
Yes.
Pakistan to make it through, because they can't depend just on Babar and Rizwan, and
Mm.
they will be successful in those 160, 170 type of games.
Changes. Yes.
But
Yes.
if it's a chase in excess of 180, 200,
Mm.
I'm not sure if their batting has the arsenal for it. And somebody in the middle order will have to hold
Mm.
things together. Hyder Ali is a very promising youngster, but again, how much he'll perform in these big games needs to be seen. What are your thoughts on the stumbling blocks?
Yes. My main stumbling block will be when Pakistan is batting first,
Hmm.
they will need to score at a higher rate and try to target 180 and not the normal 160. And the second issue I see is the lack of six hitters. Now again, the hype around Asif Ali is more hype than substance, I believe. So if he gets them, good for him. But the good example is the practice game they just played against England, right? So there in the innings they had one sixer in the entire innings, and that was by Mohammad Wasim, who
Who's a
scored
tail
20.
ender?
Yeah,
Yeah,
who scored 26, I think, second highest score. And the
right,
opener was Shan, who scored 33, who was the highest, who's not going to play opening. So they have other issues, anyways.
right,
And in contrast, England hit 13 sixes and they chased down the target in 14.3 overs. So the lack of six hitting in this team is very apparent, especially with one
right,
and two. I don't remember seeing Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan hitting very long sixes. They're classy players, they get you the boundaries. But
right.
in terms of the long handle, which you will require at the end overs. Because
Hmm.
as we have seen the trend, even with the Australia England series, they scored 180, 200 effortlessly. So that is going to be the
Right.
benchmark in this tournament also. 180 should be like a benchmark,
Hmm.
and anything above will be like above par. So they need to play accordingly, and not one thing I noticed with Pakistan cricket is they score the same number of runs no matter where they play. So whether it's Pakistan, whether it's UAE, and the joke is if they go on the moon, they'll still score 160 only while chasing. And Babar and Rizwan will play 15, 15, then get out, and then the other guys start hitting, and they will also get out. So they
Right.
have their issues, but again, a dangerous team as usual. And with the
Yeah.
bowling, if they keep winning the toss, keep chasing, I think they'll go far in this tournament, because the bowlers will, set up the most of the games, I believe.
Right.
So yeah.
And Sumit, maybe the final point before we wrap up the video, where could
Mm.
we see Pakistan ending in this tournament, right? Now,
Mm.
obviously, two critical games for them, right? One is
Yes.
the one against India, the other one
Mm.
is against South Africa. They will
Yes.
have to at least win one for sure, and then ensure they don't mess up against teams like, let's say, there could be West Indies in the group, right?
Mm.
That could
Yes,
very
yes.
likely qualify, and
Mm.
there might be even a minnow like Netherlands who could
Mm.
upset any team on the day. So that will be
Yes.
something that they have to keep on top of their mind.
Definitely. Netherlands did give them a scare in the recent series they played, I remember. So
Right.
they, again, Pakistan v Pakistan, you don't know which Pakistan might show up. So they need to be very careful. Obviously, Sunday's game is going to be big for them. After that, yeah, if they win, again, like I said, for India, going to top four should not be a challenge for them if they win Sunday's game. So let's see. We know who we support for Sunday, anyways. For no doubts
You
there.
can see that from the t-shirt.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. So that was it, folks. That was our video for Pakistan. Let us know your thoughts, what you felt, any points that we missed out on, any points that we shared that you felt, we hit the nail on the head. And let's look forward to the game on Sunday. It will be India versus Pakistan on 23rd October. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. And look forward to the next video then. Till then, bye bye and stay safe.
Thank you. Bye